Hello and welcome to Basic for Beginners. This course is brought to you by Gameskool. My name is Michiel van der Blonk and I will be your teacher for this course. So if everything went okay, you will have received an email for an invitation to REPL. Here we see a REPL, and this is the screen where you start your first exercise. You can also look at the classrooms. This might be your starting point, and then you click Basic for Beginners and go to the first exercise. What do we see on the screen here? We see 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me explain them. This is your editor. Here you will be writing your code, your program. This is an explanation of the assignment and the assignment itself, so gives a little bit of background, theory, examples, and then comes your assignment, which says print hello world to the screen. Gives you some more tips, and then here is the console where you can type commands. I'll show you that later. And here we see the feedback section. So once you've submitted, here's the submit button, then you may be getting feedback from me here in this little space. Let's go back to the editor right here. And the first line you see here is, quote, get the program to show hello world. That is your instruction for this program. The quote indicates that it is not something that the computer should be executing, so you can basically write anything here. Anything you want will just be a comment that Basic will skip. So the next one is a command. It says print hello world, and we can run the program. So when I run the program here in the console, I see hello world. That's my output. I can clean the console, and if I want to try other things, I can type them here, like print 1 plus 2, 3, print okay, and if I happen to make a mistake, I get an error message. Print should be in capitals, so this is an error. And it tells you error at line 1, call to undefined sub print. But if you have any problems during writing a program, it really helps to put it in the console and see what the computer will say. Okay, so that is the website repl.it, which is where you'll get all your exercises and your notifications when there is some news or when you get feedback. And oh, let me not forget to tell you that when you have submitted and you think, oh, I made a mistake, then you can still unsubmit with the same button and continue working until you're ready and submit again. So the course has 20 assignments. Here they are, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I recommend doing them all in order, but if you really like, you can maybe skip one that you think is really hard and continue with the next one. Now, before you continue, I want to give you some more tips about how you can work. The first thing, you may not always be able to work online or not always want to work online. So I've also installed on my computer a separate basic editor and interpreter. It can run basic programs. It's called Just Basic. You can download it at justbasic.com. When you've installed it, you get this icon here. Right click it. This is one thing you should do before you run it. Go to Properties, Compatibility, and run this program for Windows XP because it's kind of an old program. Okay, so that is running. Let me open Just Basic. I have an empty file here, and I can do the same thing which I did in the editor there. So print hello, for example, run the program, and I get an output window that says hello. I can do print 1 plus 2. Oh, little mistake there. 1 plus 2, and then I get 3. All right. So that is Just Basic, and you can save your files, open them again, and have them all stored on your computer. Another program that may be handy is called Flowgorithm, and instead of programming with text, you actually make diagrams for a program, and that can really help to understand what's happening in a program. Here we see Flowgorithm, and this is an empty program. It starts with main and then does nothing. If I want to add something, I click the arrow and say, okay, let me output something. Double click here, and I'm gonna type hello again in quotes. So now I have a working program. If I run it, it says hello. I can also view the source code for this program. By default, so I click here, by default it's Java. I can switch to Quick Basic, and now I have the same program as I had in my Rebel editor with some extra things here, but that's not very important. Just a command print hello. That's my full program. I can get line numbers, take away the colors, and I can copy and paste this, save it as a file, and I can even try and run it in Just Basic if I want. This is a very simple program. Let's try something more difficult. Open this one. You see it's a little bit more difficult, and you can see the whole structure of the program, and I can run it, put a number, and oops, I have a mistake in there. I need to fix it first. Yeah, so I run it again, and I get my output immediately. I can see it in the source. There's my whole program in Java. I want it in Quick Basic. Remove the colors, and there we go. We have the whole program here. So let's have a look at what we have in the program. It's a little bit more difficult than the other one, but the most interesting part is we can put the speed to slow and then run the program very slowly. Do the same thing, and this will really help us because now we can see what happens during execution of the program, and that will tell us, okay, so now it's doing this and then it's doing that. We can still watch the console and we can see that it's actually giving us output, and we can wait for the end of the program. This will definitely help you to understand the structure of programs. Let's wait for the end. There we go. One more step, I guess. And it's done. So the whole program has executed. Okay, so that's the beginning of everything you need to know for starting the course Basic for Beginners. So good luck, and I hope you really stick to it and finish the entire course. Bye bye.